Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Tuesday afternoon, May 7th. We're looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES and NQ. Boy, oh boy, very, very sleepy, lazy day. It is our seventh smallest range of the year. I was looking back from last year's stats. We had a couple of days around this week also that put in our smallest ranges of the year and lightest volume. Well, yesterday's volume was the second lightest of the year. There is a chance that we put in another volume in the top 10 lightest. We're at 47 million. We have to do 8 million in the after hours. I'm not saying that. So there's a good chance to have both one of the smallest ranges of the year and lightest volumes of the year. In the bigger picture, the bulls have to be happy. We spent the entire day above the base of the price spike, never even saw it, and most of the day above yesterday's high. And I'm keeping this weekly balance high in here, but I'm calling the weekly up for now. Okay, I'm calling the weekly up and certainly the daily up in ES. NQ is definitely up on the daily, but not on the weekly. In fact, they got rejected pretty heavily inside the upper distribution from April 15th, as we continue to talk about that day. Even ES. I'm calling the weekly up because we stretched it by over $1, but we closed right at that Monday's high from over 3 weeks ago. Righty ends with just a day's high and low and an 8-wide point of control. NQ ends with just a day's high and low and an 8-wide point of control. ES, same thing. Days high and low and an 8-wide point of control. ES held their gap until K period. Believe it or not. So we gapped high 3 days in a row. The previous 2 days have held. Today's finally filled. Again, okay day, but what happened today? Buyers tried and tried and tried. Look, the bulls got, I think, what they really wanted to do, which was to come out of balance on the weekly in ES. The next destination's very far away, and you could just tell the energy wasn't there for the bulls to get going there. Now, NQ, same thing. They took back the last set of single prints. I thought maybe they'd get acceptance at least into the upper distribution, but that did not happen, at least not today. So what happened? There was a lot of volume up here, and they finally gave it up. And what happened in I period spoke to the room, not when it happened, but probably an hour or so before it happened, saying, don't be surprised if it happens, because our range was so small, because the market was long. Now, they did alleviate some long pressure in E and G, but because the volume, again, the volume stunk on the day, but it was all being done up here. See the way it was transferred down here? That's all the longs getting out. So I'm not surprised we had basically a liquidation break. We made a new high in I and a new low on the day in I at that point. So I missed a couple of trades today. I missed the short against the overnight high in ES. In NQ, which would have paid. Did not take that. But then I did get long in A period and NQ to get the overnight high, because the second time up there, I thought the odds were good to get it, and we did. I certainly missed the long in B period. I was having a little machine issues and wasn't really paying attention, because I said if we got down to this wide overnight POC, I'd like to long it because we had gotten the overnight high. Well, I was having issues with my machine, never took it. However, when B period did pull up, I got long on a couple of pullbacks. So I did okay on that. C period and NQ, I was buying the ebb and flow long. We had taken out B period. We started going higher. We got the IB. I missed the pop in the top trade, but on some ebb and flow longs, I did okay on that. Now, we would trend up twice. We attempted to go up trend today twice, failed in ES and NQ. When D made a new high and wasn't getting anywhere, when it came back in, every time it got above C's high, I shorted it, because I didn't think we'd get a second set of singles, and that paid off. Once E came down and filled the single prints, I longed that in ES for a nice long. A lot of times they fill them and go right back up, which is what they did for a good trade. And then I took the short when ES pushed up, because I'm like, I don't think they're going to obviously make to try to go trend again. So that worked out before lunchtime. Now, I didn't trade ES today. It was all NQ. When G pulled back, I thought it might be an afternoon pullback. I missed the original pullback. I was out doing something, but I did get, when it came back in again, took a long for that and did okay. Now, I period. I told the room to be careful, and to myself also. I did take a long. Where did I take that long in I? I took a long at, I think it was 40. Took a one lot at 40. Came in, got down to half. I was looking for it to get to half back. I added though at 29, added way too early. It did get to half back, added, started coming in, took it off. So I lost. However, when it pushed down hard in I and then came back, didn't take out the IB low, I got long, a 5 lot, and took that. I forgot where I got it. I think I got it around, right around the, below the open. It was below the opening. I think it was like in the 90s or low 200s. And rode it up to like 18 or 19. So I did okay. Got back what I lost on that on the others. Didn't make much at all. It was basically break even. But I did save myself on that. So I wasn't expected NQ. ES was a different story. Even though NQ's range is small, I thought ES was much smaller. So I wasn't surprised if they would have gotten the IB low. I wasn't expecting an NQ. Now they didn't get it then, but they did eventually get it. And that was my last trade. After that I turned neutral. You can see they tried to push very half-hearted effort below the day's lows in both ES and NQ, right? The shorts, if you're going to get sharks in the water, they would have really have pushed. They didn't. So whoever was short, I said to the room, look, if we stop the one-time framing down, that's it for the bears. And it was. They took them out, and that was it. So an okay day. Again, the key is the information and educational process that we go through every day with this 6.5-hour webinar to keep people out of trouble and to be alert to the fact that what happened in I was a very strong possibility. And it did. And it kept a lot of people out of trouble. As far as destinations, today's upside is 518.57 and low is 516.45 in SPY. In ES, the high is 26.75 and the low is 05.50. And then just quickly on our charts. So the weekly I'm calling up now, okay? Both SPY and ES. I think we're holding a weekly gap also right now. We're holding 2 gaps and a weekly gap. So I'm calling the weekly up. It's theirs to lose now. And the daily also up. One time framing up 3 days. 2 gaps is still my main focus. The one thing that is a huge, huge concern is the volume, which just isn't there. Hope you had a good day trading. Thank you for liking and subscribing to this channel. And we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.